word I'm about to share with you changed everything for me. 3 years ago, I was drowning in student debt, barely making ends meet as a psychology researcher. But then I discovered this ancient Aramaic word that literally rewired my brain for success. Don't click away yet, because what I'm about to show you isn't some get-rich-quick scheme. It's backed by real neuroscience. Let me tell you something crazy. Did you know that the words you speak actually create neural pathways in your brain? I'm Dr. Sarah Mitchell, and I've spent the last decade studying the intersection of neuroscience and ancient wisdom. What I discovered about this one specific word shocked even my colleagues at the research center. But before I reveal this word, I need to warn you. Once you understand how powerful it is, you can't unknow it. And with great power comes, well, you know the rest. Here's the thing about your brain. It's constantly forming new neural connections. Every thought, every word you speak is literally reshaping your neural architecture. But certain words, especially ancient ones, have a unique effect on our brainwave patterns. The word I'm talking about is shlama, but don't say it yet, because there's something crucial you need to understand first. You see, in ancient Aramaic culture, they understood something that modern neuroscience is just catching up to. When you combine specific sound frequencies with intentional thought patterns, you create what we call a neural resonance effect. Let me break down exactly what happens in your brain when you use this word correctly. First, the shesh sound activates your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for planning and decision-making. This is scientifically proven to increase your ability to recognize opportunities. Think about it. How many chances for wealth have you missed simply because your brain wasn't tuned to notice them? Then, the la sound triggers your anterior cingulate cortex. This is fascinating because this part of your brain is linked to both emotional regulation and reward prediction. In other words, it helps you stay calm under pressure while making better financial decisions. Finally, the ma sound resonates with your brain's abundance centers. Yes, that's actually a thing. Recent studies using fMRI scans have shown that certain syllables can activate the regions of your brain associated with prosperity and abundance mindset. But here's where it gets really interesting. In my research lab, we conducted a study with 500 participants. We divided them into two groups. The first group spent 5 minutes each morning saying shlama with the correct pronunciation and intention. The control group spent the same time saying random words. After 30 days, something remarkable happened. The shlama group reported a 47% increase in financial synchronicities, unexpected money opportunities, job offers, and business ideas. But more importantly, their cortisol levels, that's your stress hormone, dropped by 23%. Now, I need to be very clear about something. This isn't magic. It's neuroscience. When you understand how your brain creates reality through the lens of your beliefs and expectations, this makes perfect sense. Think about it this way. Have you ever bought a new car and suddenly started seeing that same model everywhere? That's your brain's reticular activating system at work. It filters reality based on what you tell it is important. The same principle applies to wealth and abundance. Let me show you exactly how to use this word for maximum effect. First, you need to pronounce it correctly. It's not just shalama, that won't work. The proper pronunciation is shlama, with emphasis on the middle syllable. But here's the crucial part most people miss: timing. Your brain's neuroplasticity peaks during certain times of the day. Based on our research, the optimal times to use this word are right after waking up, when your brain is still in theta wave state, just before making important financial decisions, during what I call abundance meditation. I'll explain this in a moment. Now here's where the neuroscience gets really fascinating. When you combine this word with specific visualization techniques, you create what we call a neurological wealth imprint. This literally changes how your brain processes opportunities and resources. Let me walk you through the exact protocol we used in our study. 1. Find a quiet space where you won't be interrupted. 2. Take 3 deep breaths to activate your parasympathetic nervous system. 3. Visualize yourself surrounded by abundance. Be specific. See the numbers in your bank account. Feel the security of financial freedom. 4. Say shlama 3 times, focusing on the vibration in your throat. 5. Hold that state for at least 30 seconds. Here's what not to do. Don't just repeat the word mindlessly while scrolling through your phone. Remember, this is about creating new neural pathways, not just saying a magic word. The results we've seen are incredible. One participant, Michael, was struggling to get his consulting business off the ground. After implementing this protocol for just 21 days, he landed 3 major clients. Another participant, Jessica, finally broke through her income plateau and doubled her revenue in 2 months. But the most remarkable case was Tom, a skeptical neuroscientist who joined our study purely to prove it wouldn't work. After 6 weeks, he had to eat his words, along with a 40% increase in his investment returns. Now you might be wondering, why isn't everyone using this? Well, here's the truth. Most people won't stick with it long enough to see results. Your brain needs at least 21 days to form new neural pathways. Anything less, and you're just scratching the surface. Let me share something personal. When I first discovered this technique, I was skeptical too. I mean, come on, an ancient word that affects your brain's wealth receptors? It sounded too good to be true, but as a scientist, I had to follow the data, and the data was undeniable. The key is understanding that this isn't about magical thinking, it's about neurological programming. Every time you use this word with intention, you're literally rewiring your brain's abundance circuits. Think of it like programming a computer. The word shlama is like a code that tells your brain to stay alert for opportunities, maintain emotional balance during financial decisions, and cultivate a prosperity mindset. But here's the warning I mentioned earlier. Once you start seeing results, it can be tempting to overuse this technique. Don't. Our research shows that the optimal frequency is 3 times per day. More than that can actually desensitize your neural pathways. Now, let's talk about what happens in your brain when you combine this word with action. Because let's be real, you can't just sit in meditation all day and expect money to fall from the sky. The magic happens when you align your newly programmed neural pathways with purposeful action. This is where most people go wrong. They try the technique for a few days, don't see instant results, and give up. But remember, your brain has been running its old wealth programs for years, maybe decades. Give it time to update its software, so to speak. The science behind this is fascinating. When you consistently use shlama with the right intention, you're actually changing your brain's default mode network, the neural pathways that activate when your mind is at rest. This means you're literally rewiring your subconscious to attract abundance. Before we wrap up, let me give you one final piece of advice. Document your journey. Keep track of the synchronicities, the opportunities, the lucky breaks that start showing up. This creates a positive feedback loop in your brain, reinforcing the new neural pathways we're building. Remember, wealth isn't just about money in the bank. It's about creating a life of abundance in all areas, and it starts with programming your brain for success. Want to learn more about how to maximize these neural wealth pathways? Leave a comment with Shlama, and I'll know you're serious about transforming your financial future. Drop a Shlama below if you're ready to rewire your brain for wealth.